You are now tuned into Check This Out News. We connect the streets. All right, there it is, man. Another edition of Check This Out News is always on deck, man. Got the big homie Mike Johns on the line. Let's do this, Mike. What up?
Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm feeling good, man. Now, in reviewing the news, there's a lot of new developments here, and technology is taking everything over. Gaydar alert. Talk about it.
This is crazy, man. Females are on it. They can tell when the dude is gay or not, but I'm going to go there. A new computer algorithm developed by researchers at Stanford University can correctly determine someone's sexuality with a 91% accuracy just by analyzing photos of their face. This is interesting because this study uses photos from dating sites and incorporating AI technology in distinguishing sexuality. One thing that was interesting in the study, it did not include transgender or bisexual people, but the power of AI made it possible that they're able to determine sexuality not by clothing or hairstyle, but in fact by eyebrows, cheeks, hairline, neckline, and nose. Among men that were surveyed in this, there was an 81% accuracy, and females, there was a 71% accuracy. The future of determining sexuality can be done via AI. Gaydar alert, there's an app for that.
Now that's crazy. There's actually gonna be an app?
I won't say that there's going to be an app, but we're just saying right now this is at the beta stage of it all, and that's a good question. But I think the key thing is understand the power of algorithms, and we can know it's not about what you did in the past, but what you're doing in the future. Stanford is now being able to enhance that further by saying we can even determine sexuality.
Well, you definitely got to make sure you are aware if they put that app on you. You'd want to know too. Now, I know social media is definitely a destination for so many things, and specifically the news is becoming more and more important, and it's being shared by many people. Correct, Mike?
Absolutely, man. Right now, 67% of U.S. adults get at least some sort of their news via social media. This, according to Pew Research Center. And this has increased over the years. We've seen, the numbers of the past to where it is now to get to the 67 percentile. That's incredible. Facebook obviously was one of the top social media sources for news, followed by other media sites who made up the other remaining 45%. I think what's interesting here, why this is important, is that there's a real paradigm shift between traditional news outlets and the new economy. And we always stress that here at Check This Out News, the new economy. So, the traditional outlets such as your ABC News, your Wall Street Journal, LA Times, St. Louis, all those good things. Everything is now really being consolidated in the world of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. There it is.
Wow, man. Well, I know that a lot of news outlets are definitely using social media as well to keep people posted on things as they develop, especially with the hurricanes and all these other things that have been taking place. Now, let me ask you this. Why own a car or a home? This shared space seems to be getting bigger, and it's only increasing, especially as people look at how they're investing their money.
Absolutely. Well, we've been big on this whole thing, the shared economy, and I think social media, this is a great segue because social media is almost at the forefront of even birthing the idea of a shared economy or a gig economy. Tech experts agree that more people will share vehicles in the future than ever before. Ride companies such as Uber, Lyft, and what have you, they're really big on the future of car. The future of the automobile industry will be basically sharing a car. And so with that said, into the peer-to-peer car platform called Turo that's offering customers the ability to rent a car and also include insurance. And these are your own cars. So I bought a car, now I want to go ahead and rent the car. And this is real disruption because it's changing the rent-a-car business. So companies like Alamo and all those, they got to be tuning in on this because this is, again, a part of the new economy. Turo, which makes it really good, is that they've just received $92 million in investment from a German automobile maker. Daimler just invested money in them, and so that further pushes this new economy in terms of the future of where everything is going. And when I look at, homes in LA, homes across the country, why own a home when all you got to do is lease it for a period of time and move on? You can have multiple homes in the city and just move around. That's already happening right now on the home side. And then why not on the automobile side? So this is interesting because there's a paradigm shift once again in terms of get a wife, get a home, and then retire the white picket fence and a dog. That's some old Leave It to Beaver days. Now it's really about I can be mobile and I can live multiple places. I can have a home in Dubai, and Airbnb is really at the forefront of that. But we're seeing that's on the home side. But then on the car side, this new peer-to-peer platform, car-sharing platform, Turo, is really going to be making some noise. And what I love about it most, not only the ability to rent a car, but they also have insurance packages, and then you're also able to monetize. One person, he claims he's already made $25,000 off of Turo.
Interesting.
And that's something to know.
Well, just so you know, Daimler, the company you're referencing, Daimler Chrysler, also, I believe, I want to say, well, they're a big company, Chrysler, obviously, but I think Daimler is the stake in Mercedes-Benz as well. So I think for them to be a German automaker is saying a lot about their belief in what the future is. Let's switch gears for a minute. You don't want to do this and drive anyway, so the best thing for you might be riding in the back of that vehicle. But if you got this cannabis-infused water, and not just any type of water, sparkling water at that, what does that mean?
Well, forget lemon flavors and all those different things that you put in your water, keeping it bougie. No, there's a new thing that's now hitting the wave, and that is cannabis-infused sparkling water. What's really interesting about this is that there's one company in particular, Mount Joy, that's active in this space. And one of the things that they said that I really appreciate is that it's very convenient. It's convenient to drink, and why not? If you want to dip into the world of cannabis and you don't have time to light it up or what have you, put a bong or, blaze, why not drink? And it's given in low dosage. So there's approximately between 15 to 25 mg of THC that's manageable for you when you're driving. So not when you're driving. Did I say that? When you're out and about.
It's all right. I mean, you might be drinking some of that water right now. It's all good. It's quickly corrected, man, and we make it happen. Now, let me ask you this, Mike. I'm seeing these reports, these love hotels on wheels.
Man. So let's go back to the driverless car or autonomous cars. What do you do while you're in the car? There's, again, another paradigm shift where you're driving on the 405 freeway, LA, or wherever you are, and it's really about point A to point B destinations. Well, if it's an autonomous car, what do you do in between that time? You can be shopping, planning your business meeting, actually conducting a business meeting, thanks to Skype and all the different features that the car will actually take on. But something that's really crazy is love hotels on wheels. And why not have the ability, with your significant other, friend, whatever, how you get down is how you get down, but sex on wheels. And that's something that's going to be factored in as the government just recently approved and made a strong commitment for automakers and the technology companies such as the GM, Alphabet, and others to basically begin deploying vehicles around 2020. So stay tuned for that. The government has already approved this, and what they've approved is the self-autonomous cars. Now the thing is, what do you do in the car from point A to point B? That's a new learning curve. So as you're in traffic or whatever, now it's about how you're maximizing your time or the things that you can do while in a car. Sex in a car, that's one of them. Shopping in a car, that's another thing. You just think about it yourself. You, the listener, there's a new paradigm shift that's happening, and that's going to be really starting to deploy out come 2020.
Interesting, man. First time I saw that was going to Google a few years back. And it's amazing to know that that's definitely the new wave or the direction that things are going. Let's talk about virtual dating and online dating. It seems like it's being remixed and redefined in terms of blind dates. Tell me more, Mike.
Well, I'd like to say it this way. Virtual reality dating is redefining a blind date. So rather than going through all those little situations, let's think about this for a minute. Not just hooking up, I mean actually dating, specifically the first date. Here's where VR is now able to do something seriously disruptive that has never been done before. Thanks to the technology, you can now meet a significant other, potentially a significant other, through this new application called virtualrealitydating.com. And I think it's really interesting in terms of just how you connect with people, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, connecting with people, sharing experiences and all that good stuff. And now VR dating is actually putting a vetting process to the blind date. That's why I say they are now redefining the blind date thanks to VR technology.
So the second date is in real life. This could get very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
Facebook is stepping up its whole approach to creating original content, and they're not playing any games. This is a serious investment, correct?
Absolutely. Content is king. Distribution is King Kong. I always say that, and Facebook has it all. And now, thanks to them spending over $1 billion to fund original content with the new initiative Watch Video platform, they're going to make a lot of noise in this space. And what we're going to see here is the fragmentation of content. So you got to look at it. Fox having the TV show Empire. Well, we know that that's a national program, but now national redefined in terms of, hey, there's a program in St. Louis, there's a program in Iowa, there's a program in Buffalo, New York that I watch, and now that is the new national program. So it's very interesting. Facebook, thanks to social media, thanks to followers, viewers, attention is the new currency. This is a new paradigm shift once again in which we see they mean business, and they're going after people that can bring us the eyeballs, which obviously will tie into advertising. And this is this whole new fragmentation, the new trend in content.
Interesting. Now, I know that the new iPhone 8 is supposed to drop September 12th, and we're talking about the future of smartphones. And they all have been talking about this camera that's going to be on it, but they say cameras are the future in terms of smartphones across the board. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Well, next week we're going to be headed to the Mobile World Congress, reporting live from there, and I'm excited about that. Soon you're going to see camera phones doing everything, facial recognition and enhanced augmented reality. We're going to look for that with the iPhone. It's just going to be a crazy time in seeing what is power of the smartphone and what it can do. We've talked about this last week in terms of cameras, if you remember, listeners, where we talked about the cameras being kind of the driver to, yes, Big Brother is watching. Well, that's actually going to start with the phone. The phone is really what's happening. Since we're into the business of sharing photos, sharing videos, all that happens through the smartphone. In the future, is when we add facial recognition, AI, and all these new capabilities, the game is getting bigly, and we're going to follow up with this more come next week.
Oh, interesting. Now, space flight is something that's definitely on the lips of everyone. People are talking about it in a more realistic way. Perhaps gone are the days when we sit and watch the space shuttle go off into space, and maybe we'll be watching more of our own peers headed up there. Where are we at with that?
Well, I like to say, airport, spaceports. How about that? Virgin Galactic's chief, George Whiteside, he's very determined to really follow out Sir Richard Branson's dream of spaceports. So, they were faced with a big disaster that kind of halted the program. They're very much determined. And in that, they just now returned, and they're committed to deploying people into space by 2020. How about that? And what they look to do is be able to decrease the cost. Obviously, you got to be a serious baller on some Warren Buffett level to be able to afford the first phase of flights that are going out. But they're trying to make a prediction. The CEO has made a prediction, George Whiteside, saying that he wants to cut costs from $2 billion per flight to $20 million.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
That's that Kmart special. But hey, this is big.
Wow. All right. Discounted flights going up into space. We'll see about that. The world is definitely getting smaller, man. So right now, we're going to mix things up and get some of the entertainment tech news that we got on deck. And I got my girl, Christian. Christian, what's cracking?
Big news. Diddy is not afraid of having a female CEO. Super exciting. He just hired